Hi everyone, and welcome to RollBound 2. I am your DM, Chas, and I'm going to go down the list and have everyone introduce themselves, starting with Groove.
Good tidings. I am Groove, and I am bound to the role of Jonathan Oneros Phage.
Alrighty, Allie.
Hello, I'm Ali, and I am bound to the role of Prince Xander.
Alright, Minnow.
Hello, I am Minnow, and I am bound to the role of Vivian Deshays.
Alright, Joey.
My name is Joey, and I'm bound to the role of Jay Elwood. Forgot his last name for a second.
Alright, Dakota.
Hello everyone, my name is Dakota, and I am bound to the role of Lysel.
And last but never least, Mickey.
Hi, I'm Mickey, and I am bound to the role of Emiko.
Okay, I'm back. So, to regain my train of thought, where we last left off, you guys had just entered the trial. The door behind you disappeared, signaling that that you will not be able to leave this trial until it is completed, or you die. And again, you're in a room that kind of has like a somewhat stone flooring with like grass and moss growing in the cracks. The area is very overgrown. There's like vines and other types of moss hanging down the pillars and archways. And there is a singular like yawning path ahead of you.
We go down the path.
It yawns.
Cautiously. Well, actually, I'm going to ritual cast Detect Magic. And then we'll go down the path.
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, owie, random headache out of nowhere. Oh, that felt great.
Sorry, I have that effect on people.
Oh, God, I like being alive. Okay. Alright.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
Does, Major Image have a clause that whatever illusion you make with them becomes faint and kind of easy to see through once you know it's an illusion, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're yelling at cats again. While I'm following.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense, because once you see it, you can, see past the illusion.
I'm wondering if I can reverse engineer that.
What do you mean?
Make it where if you know it's an illusion, it's easier to see, but if you don't know that the illusion's there, you don't see anything.
Well, I mean, I guess that would work with, someone that had, a low save. But, I feel like that would be cucking the spellkeeper, or the spellcaster out of the spell, if they can't see it until it's, noticeable.
So, what I want to use it for is to make light that only we can see.
Oh.
I don't know if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I understand that part of it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do anything too complicated with it. I just want to make a light source that nobody can see but us.
I feel like that should be, more of a minor illusion kind of thing.
Minor illusion cannot make light.
Oh.
That's in the spell. But major image can.
What about, the light cantrip? Do you think, if you just, cast light, do you think you could, cause a clause just for it to be visible to you?
No, I would not think that would be a reasonable interpretation of that spell's capabilities.
What if you cast the light spell and then we put a giant mist around us that nobody can see through?
Well, we'd still see the mist, Joey.
Not if it's like black mist, you know?
And also, like, then we wouldn't be able to see past the mist, which would kind of defeat the whole purpose.
Nah. Just make the what's the stupid thing I'm trying to say right now?
No, let's
Probably-
just all get Devil Sight, and then some get Darkness, and just keep on casting Darkness.
Yes, we did it.
I would love to see that. It is apparently wildly powerful. The full party of Devil Sight.
Yeah, what character was that you let me do that with? Allie, do you remember? What was her name? Fuck. The wizard I just did for,
I know the one you're talking about, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
That was-
I think Devil Sight is very powerful.
yeah.
Especially if your dedicated darkness caster is a shadow monk.
Let's Will stop demons from attacking Isabel in the Last Light In.
But yeah, if you have either a Wave Shadow monk or a warlock be the dedicated darkness caster, where you can get it back on a short rest and have it for every single fucking fight, that shit is crazy.
Should do that for a one-shot. Full party of Devil Sight.
Get advantage on everything all the time.
Fucking pretty much.
And everything is disadvantage against you.
Yeah, because it's fucking blind.
Also, darkness is really funny because it gets around true sight.
Yeah, yeah, it does. Proof that blind sense is better.
Oh my god, they're still screaming, but they're not screaming at my door anymore, so... The older one just screams because he can. I think he's going deaf.
Is that one of those things that you can hear in the recording if they're like pawing at the door and like yowling?
Yes. So
Gotcha.
in Discord, my mic will like suppress all that because it has like an active like noise cancellation, but if I'm just recording with my microphone, it doesn't have that at base. Like whenever I'm recording for the podcast, it is just using my mic as is.
I mean, just saying, if you use voice meter, you wouldn't have that problem.
I'm not
What is
going
that?
through all that, and I don't even know what that is.
Program I use for recording stuff.
Oh.
It's also free.
Yeah.
I just use OBS for video and Mixcraft for audio.
Well, that's the thing, is that I have found nothing else that lets you record your microphone and your screen at the same time, and I'm not doing one for the, like, recording the call, and then one to record my voice, and then trying to sync them up.
Voice meter does that, though. It records both.
What is a... Sorry to derail. What is a minted amethyst? Is it just a gem?
It tastes like mint.
A minted amethyst would imply that that amethyst is viable currency.
Oh.
Typically, yeah.
Chess?
A minted amethyst means that it has been, like, polished and, like, it's not like a raw amethyst, it's been polished and cut, and it's in good quality. That is what a minted means when applying to gems.
Cool. I was thinking it was some fantasy thing.
Nope, it's an actual thing. That is what it's called when they make the gem look all nice.
So yeah, what's down the path?
Yeah, sorry, I was getting some messages, so Minna will not be able to join us today, which means there's one specific thing
Vivian
today
explodes.
that I am saving until next Monday. Good to know.
A big spring door pops up.
Are we on tabletop?
Blasted away.
No, I don't have tabletop up right now.
Okay.
You don't, or you do?
I do not.
Okay.
Minnow just sent me a text that said, I have next Monday off, so barring an act of God, I will be there.
I'll ask Dad to call in a favor. Make sure that no acts of God happen.
Thanks. Alrighty, so as you all progress forward, are you continuing stealthily or making any preparations or anything like that? Just asking because we kind of had a bit of a side conversation, so I didn't want to skip over anybody if there was anything you wanted to do.
I don't see my real reason to stealth.
Proceed with cast without trace. Yeah.
Got it. I shall cast it.
There we go.
Anybody want a healing potion?
Sure.
Always up, we'll have them.
Lysel and Jay both get a healing potion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, you guys go through pretty much the only way to go. The peaceful and ambient lit, because there's no like direct light source. It kind of like looks like a ruin with like sun rays filtering in, but they're seemingly coming from nowhere. But as you progress forward, there is writing and pictures on the wall depicting several stories. Let me find this. There we go. That are kind of just like drawn renditions of like the tales of the circle and the gods themselves that are just kind of like painted into the walls or etched in like a mixture of both. But something that you all see is that near the end of this kind of like slowly narrowing corridor, there is a plaque on the ground that when you get within 10 feet of it, it slightly starts to glow. Almost as if welcoming you in a weird way. And I know some of you can speak Primordial because duh. So I am going to tell you what the thing says. I'm also looking at your stealth checks.
Oh, right. Stealth check. Yeah, another.
If it matters, mine wasn't that one.
I'm going to use the Amulet of Luck to reroll. I rolled like a sheep. I still roll like a sheep, so I'm going to use my Reaper ability to reroll.
I'm gonna use this. Fuck. I'm gonna use this. Fuck.
Chrono shift.
Chrono shift. Oh man, good times. I remember if Groove ever did it without doing the fucking like anime call out, I'd be like, no, bitch, redo it. And then I would genuinely cut it out of the episode and then I would replace it. Like,
That's really funny.
Okay, 25, 17, 24, 26. Where's yours, Jobby?
One, I can give one, I guess. Teehee.
That's with a +10.
Never mind.
Oh my god, no!
24, 25, 26. Holy shit, we're 3/5 of the way to a Balatro hand.
A what? Don't
Oh, no.
say 3/5.
Oh shit, sorry.
Okay. So, the plaque says, "Stop now and heed warning clear. You step on the stones of destiny. Many have risen and fallen here, a victory of some, a tomb to many. The mother of the primordial casts her challenge, but the circle remain not ignored. Defeat each of the gods placed passage, and then, and only then, will you find her final door."
Xander reads that to Johnny and says, "What the fuck does that mean?"
Well, I suppose in the context of this grand labyrinth, it would indicate that we must overcome all obstacles to leave this trial.
Cool.
And at the very end of this corridor, past the placard embedded into the floor, you see a door. It is a smaller door, but it is still a set of double doors. It has like a golden trim to it, with very intricate markings. And the there are a bunch of like kind of like diamond shapes on the door, but they look like they have been like split in half. And the symbol seems to be very prominent and important, because each appearance of it is the exact same. This like a thin diamond perfectly slit in half.
Does the door open?
Yes, if you push on the door, it does open. And when you do so, all of the little diamonds glow. Going back to my notes.
Johnny has detect magic. What is he getting from the diamonds?
Illusion and evocation.
Me?
Yeah, but nothing like horrible happens when you open the door. However, on the other side, it reveals a very well lit room that has like multiple pillars on either side. It is very symmetrical in the room. It has polished marble floors. However, there's like a thin layer of like a clear crystalline, almost like glass substance along the floor. The like the ceiling in this room is completely covered in a painting depicting a very gruesome and intense battle that is each like section of this painting kind of depicts like different types of battle. It doesn't seem to be all one cohesive story. One part of it is like what appear to be two different clans of Hjor fighting one another. One of them depicts a group of maybe adventurers fighting a tyrannical king. One of them depicts an army of what look to be like maybe Arkan or elves or both fighting a dragon. There is basically just all forms of like destructive elements painted into the ceiling, and it spans for like 60 feet almost. The room isn't like one even shape, but it is well lit. It's almost comfortable. And you see throughout the room there are more of those symbols where it is like the diamond star-like shape sliced in half. If any of you want to know exactly what that means, you can make me a religion check.
who's got good religion.
I have a good ability for it as long as it's, well, no, it's intelligence. It's fun.
Yeah.
Not me, then.
It looks like Johnny already
Does a
rolled it.
16 succeed?
I was gonna say, don't look at the paladin, because for some reason I didn't take proficiency in that shit.
A 16 will succeed. I'm just trying. There it is. What is that? Oh.
Does someone need advantage on religion?
Do you want to give Johnny advantage?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd allow that.
because I have proficiency in it, and mine's only at +4. Oh, well.
Okay, so
16
is better. That's still fine, though. So, the depiction of the diamond kind of split in half is representative of the god of destruction, Jamael. That is his holy symbol. And basically, Jamael's holy symbol is Guinevere's holy symbol split in half, because Guinevere and Jamael are twins.
Johnny puts his fingers to his lips. That elite Skinari was raised in a church of Jamael. This is his iconography.
Oh, how come?
What kind of god is he again?
How do you mean, what kind of god is he?
What's his significance?
So Jamael is one of the members of the Circle, so some of the most, powerful gods, and he is the, again, the god of destruction, and also real quick... It's drawn on paper, so it's not pretty, but I have his symbol. There's also Guinevere's above it, but that's because Guinevere's is more commonly known. And I think especially with you all traveling around, specifically in Kelmra, where the Circle are worshipped the most, you would know this. Jamael, unfortunately, has a horrible reputation where a lot of, like, people take his teachings and they kind of bastardize them and just kind of say, oh, well, I'm going to be violent in the name of Jamael, but that's not really what his deal is. The point is that, you know, with there is creation, there needs to exist destruction. Jamael and Guinevere are basically two sides of the same coin. Where one exists, the other one needs to exist. But unfortunately, people take that and ruin it.
His teachings are relevant to this room in some way. Can we proceed?
Yeah, of course. Another detail about the room is that most of the things in here are coated or completely made out of glass. Like, it looks like there's like a little library of books and whatnot, but it is not. It is a glasswork that is meant to look like a bookshelf with books on it, but it is just pieces of glass. Now, there is like separate like shelving and books, but they are just pieces of artwork that are very fragile. But the most important thing is deeper in the room, and at its center there are 3 statues that are also made of glass. The first one is of a wyvern, and it has wild red eyes. There is blood on its maw, and it is kind of captured mid-roar, its body like twisting and glaring forward. and it is kind of on like a smaller pedestal because the statue is kind of big, so doesn't need a super huge pedestal. But the second one is of a man in a crown. He's wearing like a fur coat that kind of like drapes down his body. He is, however, covered in wealth. He has an excessive amount of rings on his finger with diamonds and jewels and gold bands. He has like his sword is like overly jeweled, like to a point where it's like lightly interfering with the effectiveness of the sword because it's just excessive. And like his stance is very like prideful and pompous. Basically like a, the kind of like picture ideology of like a corrupt king. And then the last statue is there's a pedestal that rises out of the ground, and because the statue is so small, it needs to be kind of held on this little mini pillar, and it is simply a very beautiful looking purple and black flower, also completely made out of like stained glass, that just rests very delicately on the pedestal. And real quick, as you're all like taking a look around, I would like everybody to make their choice, or it doesn't have to be everybody. You could narrow this down if you wanted to make me your choice of a perception check or an investigation check.
Perception! Ooh, I really like that.
Natural 1. Let's go.
We don't do that here. Got a nat 20 for a 26. Alright, guys, game's over. We can pack it up.
What do we see?
Boink.
Do you see a bitch? Yes, I see a bitch. I said I see a bitch. What do you see?
So 6, nat 20 to 26, 23. Alrighty. Oh shit. So, since this room has like a lot going on again, because it kind of looks like a weird museum of like glass, glass like pieces. Again, everything seems really fragile, including these three things in the middle that are obviously of some importance, but there's no direct instruction. However, Lysel and Emiko, you kind of start looking around, and on each of the statues, like little pedestals, there is a very finely engraved like quote and phrasing that was really hard to see at first without having to like go through and try to like find directly. And it reads, "With creation comes destruction. It is the cycle of all things. Though this is not representative of the cycle of life and death, as some things need be destroyed before they are meant to die. Break the glass of the item that break the glass statue of what needs to be destroyed in order to maintain the balance and you will succeed. The one day I have, like, stuff written out that I actually need to read from, and then I can't read any of it out loud without fucking it up.
Break the statue that needs to be broken to maintain balance.
Johnny will turn to Sir J. Elwood and say, I suppose this trial is meant for you. I am interested as well to see what you believe must be consumed to create balance in this world.
Truth be told, I didn't really think that much on it. I just tried to put as much good into the world as I wish to see put out.
What, then, will you choose, Sir J. Elwood?
I'm not sure. Is there...
So, again, the 3 statues. One of them is of a black wyvern with red eyes and blood on its maw. Its body is kind of like twisting, a little aggressively, and its mouth is open in a roar, because again, these are statues. The second one is of a king adorned in an excessive amount of jewelry, and like even the hilt of his sword is like has so many gems on it that it is bordering on excessive. And then the very last statue is on a pedestal because it is so small, and it is a black and purple flower. A very beautiful flower.
Do I know what kind of flower?
Go ahead and make me a nature check.
Another 15.
And that's a 15 total?
Yeah. 16 minus 1.
Yippee! You take a look at this flower, and, it's kind of hard to tell considering that it is a glass sculpture made to represent a flower, but you are pretty sure that you know what it is. It doesn't grow in Kelmra at all. This is actually a flower from Frumal that is used in a lot of, fiction novels, because one petal off of the flower has such a potent poison, or venom to it, whichever one, that it can kill an entire city of people.
Flower alone?
Yep. Because if it is spread into water or tea or anything like that, it is so deadly that it can kill a city of people if they, it makes them violently sick.
These other 2 statues, do they look like they're of any beings in particular, or is it just some king with a bunch of lavishness, or just some dragon/wyvern with a lot of blood on it?
Make me a history check.
I'm better at those. Just kidding, 11.
You don't recognize the individual that looks like a king. Just looks like the picture-perfect description of, a corrupt, greedy ruler. Then the wyvern, you also don't know if that is meant to be something specific. You don't recall any stories of, specifically a wyvern doing fucked up shit. But it just looks very menacing. But you don't recall any stories.
And the idea is that I can only get rid of one of these.
Yes. The idea is that one of them needs to be destroyed. Which one of these 3 needs to be destroyed to maintain a balance.
Tell me, thyself,
Hmm.
among
yeah.
these, were this to be your trial, which would you choose to destroy?
I think perhaps the one that appears to be some sort of king or ruler. The other two seem a bit more naturally occurring to me, even if they are monstrous in their own ways.
Perhaps. Although, from what I've seen thus far, it seems the corruption of men is, in and of itself, naturally occurring in this world.
Let us take these options one at a time. The dragon, the beast. Capable of bringing an entire city to its knees, leaving nothing but brimstone and ash in its wake. It would kill everything, including the women and the children, along with the despot ruler that happens to rule it. The despot, he can destroy his own country as well, but it's in his best interest to see that it stays afloat for his own personal gain. People can change, but those who have gone corrupt with power are typically known not to. It's only a matter of time before he is removed from his position via natural causes or murder, depending on how terribly his kingdom thinks of him. But the flower is an extra amount of intent that goes unthought of. The person that draws its poison and uses it to kill those thousands of people, that person is truly the most evil of all. But we're not looking at the person, we're looking at the flower.
An excellent point. If one could remove the flower, then so too would the power of evil be diminished.
Were we to take this flower from its natural place, then we would be no better than the one that uses it to do the murder. The one who uses it for poison and the one who takes it out of curiosity are both serving their own selfish purposes of defacing the earth. The dragon, whether driven by its nature or simply by the territorial virtue of its kind, overall cannot be completely reasoned with, but usually has some sort of goal or aim in mind besides destruction and rampage. But the king is only in it for greed. At least in this case. I think that my sovereign is quite a good one. But like the good knight that I am, this is not my sovereign. And he's going to choose the despot king.
Alrighty, so you are going to destroy the glass sculpture of the king?
Yeah, he's gonna pull out the firebrand warhammer and swing it a few times.
Make me an attack.
And then, yep, brings it down over the head of the statue, seeing if he can topple the crown and everything else in tow, with a 28 to hit with 20 damage, 5 of which is fire.
Yeah, so you swing your hammer and down upon the statue of the king, and the ringing that echoes through the room of the shattering of glass is horribly piercing. It is painful, but it has a almost soothing melody despite so. And as the shattered pieces of glass fall to the ground, you see the statue of the wyvern like twist and convulse, and you can hear like the sliding of glass. It almost also sounds like nails on a chalkboard, but also you hear the ringing, like when someone gets their finger a little wet and then like slides it along the rim of a crystal glass to create a harmonious music, and its form shifts into that of like a peacefully resting wyvern, and then the flower you see on the pedestal, a glass replica of moss starts to grow around it, and more flowers and life start to bloom around it. And you hear a voice ring throughout the room that says mostly the same thing that the pedestal says: with creation comes destruction. It is the cycle of all things, though this is not representative of the cycle of life and death, as some things need to be destroyed before they are meant to die. A flower is not meant to die. That is simply a part of its cycle. A flower in and of itself is not a destroyer. It is the one who yields it who is the destroyer. And thus a flower need not meant be destroyed. It need to be left alone. A creature simply acting on its instinct, while it is a bringer of destruction, it is the consequence of life and its creation, and a simple misplacement of alignment on the creature that makes people believe that it is evil or corrupt. But it is no different than an animal simply living on its own principles of instinct. However, a man with the knowledge of life and death, morality, and an understanding of the soul and people who hold them is a destroyer who, before he can destroy too much and what he is not meant to, whether it be through a sword in the chest or a fall to his crown, needs to be destroyed. And the voice like dissipates, and the fallen shards of the statue start to like coalesce and like reshape, and they form a little ring that rests on the pedestal. And it's a ring that looks like a... Actually, let me see if I can find a good picture, because I thought I could describe it, but I think I want to find a picture. Yeah, it kind of looks like this. It looks like a ring made from, blown glass that is, superheated and then twisted around, and it has a kind of like golden and black and red embellishments in it that shimmer in the light of this well-lit room, and it rests just sitting on the pedestal.
I'll take the ring.
Yeah, it is warm to the touch. But as you pick it up, the light dims slightly, and on the other side of the room, the wall seems to kind of slide upwards, revealing another way forward as you have completed this trial.
See? I told you so.
I agree with your choice, and the words of Jamael as well.
Another thing we ought not to forget is that we are in one of the trials of Physis, the deity of magic, and, well, There is something quite magical about nature, and dragons are creatures of magic, if memory serves, so the only other logical choice there would be the man that comes from, or the evil that comes from man.
Alrighty. Let me go back to my notes, because I went...
How warm is the ring to the touch?
It doesn't, like, hurt in any way, but it is fairly hot, you know?
It'd probably hurt if I didn't have my fucking gauntlets on.
Yeah, like, you can feel your warmth through the warmth on it through the gauntlet.
Yeah.
Alrighty. And, do you all proceed? Or do you want to continue taking a look around this room? It is totally up to you.
The rest of the room is empty, isn't it? Are there any other, like, there's no other murals or anything?
No, it's just the painting on the ceiling, and then there's basically, like, shelves that are made out of glass that have glass books on them.
Glass books? Nah, I'm not touching those.
Understandable.
How he's gonna touch the books?
Yeah. They are quite literally just art pieces meant to, mimic a book. They're very well crafted, like, the individual pages are even carved. You can't, like, open the book and flip through it, but, like, whoever constructed these, quote-unquote, whoever, like, literally have the intricacy of having, like, each page be, like, a different, like, pane of glass that was all fused together. The one that you specifically grab has, like, a red stained glass cover that kind of looks like a stereotypical, like, church window with a depiction of Jamiel and his twin sister Guinevere on the front of it.
Yeah, I'll take it. Why not? We continue.
Yup.
Sweet.
Yup.
Where did... No, for real, where did my fucking... Where did my book go? Oh, there's my book. Didn't mean to drop it on the fucking floor. Jesus. Actually, need this. Please? Was it on the next page? Yes, it was. Okay. I need to have my book of stuff open. Okay. Alrighty. I'm going to make a roll. Cool. As you all progress through, the hall ahead of you is well lit, but very wide. Like, at first you walk through the door and it's a little narrow, but then it pans out into this, like, rectangular hallway that is wider than it is tall, and it almost curves, but it's not, like, fully circular. It's I can't remember the word, but a little jagged. And lining the walls of this corridor are statues. And there are 3 statues on either side. And on the left-hand side, the 3 statues are, you see a woman who is tall with a slightly thinner frame, with long flowing hair, and she has, like, longer claws, specifically on her, like, thumbs, and she has, like, a ivy in her hair, and she has long pointed ears, and is wearing a very, very simple dress with this, like, a band of an intricate pattern around the waist to, like, kind of, I guess, cinch the dress. However, this statue is specifically the only one in here not made of stone. It is made out of petrified wood, so it kind of looks like stone. And you all have gotten this knowledge before. It is a statue of Guinevere. Standing next to the statue of Guinevere is a man that looks just like her, standing in a sort of like dignified pose, holding a ball of fire in his hand, kind of like standing off to the side, a little standoffish, with long hair and a ponytail going down his back. Clearly, this would be Guinevere's twin brother, Jamael. And next to them is a figure in a long set of robes. I would say holding a book, but the book is like hovering above the hand. And somehow there is nothing connecting the statue of the book to the rest of the statue. It is just hovering there, unmoving. And the individual has featureless eyes, and you can only really see the statue clearly if you look at it head on. Otherwise, its form is kind of like shifting magically, which would be a statue of Sen. On the other side, you see a statue of a woman who is kind of like in a very like elegant pose, like with one of her arms above her head, the other one's kind of like draped loosely over her chest. Her hair is very long and chaotic, but like and this is as best as a statue can represent. Her hair kind of like tapers off from like regular hair into water, and there are 4 nymphs kind of like kneeling at her legs. Like one of them's like has its arms like wrapped around her thigh and is looking up at her with like admiration. The other one is like bowing at her feet, and the other one is bowing at her feet just on the other side, and the other one's also has its arms like wrapped around one of her knees looking up at her, and she's not really wearing any clothes. Like in terms of like the chest, like there's like strands of hair that perfectly quote unquote censor it. But this is clearly a depiction of Physis. Next to her in the middle there is a armored individual where you can't quite really tell if the individual is male or female, with an armor where one half of the statue is made out of obsidian, where the other half is made out of marble. So it is like a black and white statue, wearing a set of armor, holding a sword perfectly in front of them with a blank expression, with like long straight hair that kind of like perfectly goes down. And this is a statue of Ire. But then the last one is actually of a canine figure. Still very large and imposing, but it looks like a canine made out of like bones and rot. But despite the kind of gruesome depiction, it is a very peaceful creature to look at. It has like the mostly body shape of like what are those dogs called, like a Irish wolfhound in terms of like the general shape of the creature, but it stands very dignified and has like 2 regular dog heads floating above each of its shoulders, kind of like a Cerberus, where its other 2 heads are not attached to it. And one of the dog heads has like flowers growing out of like the left side of its face, kind of obscuring one of its eyes, and then the other head has completely rotted away, revealing a skeleton on the right side of its face. And this is a depiction of death. And as you're like proceeding through, Emiko,
Yeah?
you feel a presence in your mind. And maybe it causes you to, like, lag behind a little bit, but you feel as if someone or something is trying to reach out to you.
Does it seem familiar?
It does not, but it doesn't seem... Well, actually, make me an insight check, Emiko.
Yeah. Oh. 13.
Well, you're not really sure, normally, like, there's maybe a sense of familiarity, or maybe there's, like, a sense of intent. You don't get a sense of intent, like, directly. However, it is not violent or harmful.
I think, Emiko will just open up her mind like she does with, Kenzo, I think his name is.
Yeah, it does
Kenzo.
feel very similar to the first time Kenzo tried to reach out to you. Just
Yeah,
a little
I feel like
stronger.
Yeah, she'll definitely just open her mind and see what is trying to communicate with her.
Yeah, and you hear a very soft voice enter your head, and also a very, very intense feeling of deja vu, as a voice reaches out to you and says, "Come to me, child. We must speak." And what's your passive perception, Emiko?
Passive 15.
Even though, like, the voice doesn't directly, like, come from it, it looks, it almost feels like, the energy is coming from the statue of Ire that's in this hallway.
Yeah, Emiko's gonna walk up to the statue.
Yeah, and the statue doesn't move, its lips don't move, and again, the energy persists. And you hear Ire's voice ring through your mind again. It's very strong. It kind of feels like, it doesn't hurt, but it kind of feels like someone has wrapped their whole hand around, like, your head, and is just kind of, like, pushing down. And it doesn't hurt. You feel like it should, it's like that weird pressure you get right before you get, like, a pretty bad headache. And you hear the voice again say, "You have traveled long and far and gone through trial after trial and suffered wound after wound, but yet you have not found your peace. Am I correct?"
Yes.
"And you have asked questions and inquired, but you have not been given a direct answer. Yes?"
Yes.
You almost feel like a air of approval, almost like when you're having a conversation with somebody and they, like, nod in understanding, despite the fact that you do not see the person you are having a conversation with. And there's a silence for a brief moment, and then the voice reaches out again. "What if I were to tell you that I can lead you to the answers to all your questions, true answers, and not speculations?"
What would I have to do?
"This is not a trick, nor a bargain for your life force. I am the essence of balance. I reside in the land of nothingness and also presence at the same time. Pledge yourself to me and fight in my name, and I will guide you to the answers that you seek." without any of the vague answers. In full clarity, you will find your way. For that is my domain.
Okay.
Sorry to...
Me.
Shit, alright, fuck, alright, I'll do it. Damn. And you almost feel like this wave of warmth but also cooling come over your body. It is very strange. It is a strange sensation. I believe that if you're not trying to be a cool fantasy DM, you would say you feel room temperature, but that's really stupid. So
About 72 degrees Fahrenheit.
About 72 degrees Fahrenheit. You do feel like weirdly nulled out, like the area around you has reached such a perfect like equilibrium that you almost feel numb, but not really at the same time. It is horribly strange. And you hear the voice again say, "Now, if this is something you'll agree to, I would like you to think of the question that your heart has been yearning to ask and formally put it into words." And ask it so that the world may hear it.
Emiko, are you alright?
Yeah, for the rest of the party, you just saw Emiko, like, stop, like, stare at the statue of Ire, and then, like, kind of, like, walk up to it. Like, it doesn't look like she's, like, mind-controlled or anything, just was like, oh, that's pretty fucking cool. Do-do-do-do-do.
Johnny, at this point, has seen more statues that talk to people than statues that don't. So he kind of just thinks this is just a feature of statues. What's it saying to you, Emiko?
I think Emiko, because she's kind of wearing, she's been kind of wearing, like, gloves most of the time, so she's gonna, like, slip the gloves off, like, slowly, and then, like, roll up her, like, fishnet sleeves, and just, like, hold out her hands. I want to know why this is happening to me. To the statue.
Yeah, again, you feel like a watchful gaze settle over you and say, "You have been plagued with a rot that is not of your causing. The creature for whom you don their mask was murdered. And through placing the mask over your face, you have inherited its guilt. But not the guilt of the creature itself, but the guilt of its charge, of the one who slayed it. Thus, your soul has been plagued with an imbalance that whenever you cause harm, or whenever your heart steers away from justice, the rot consumes you as you slowly become like the murderer. The darkness coming over your body is a physical manifestation of your guilt, your anger, and how similar it makes you to the one who slayed the soul guardian of whom you wear its face, which is why it is stuck to you.
was about to say Emiko looks horrified, but I was like, oh wait, no, she's wearing a mask.
Emika looks maskified.
Maskified sounds like you got possessed by Jim Carrey.
And Johnny tastes the horror. Emiko. Are you alright? What troubles you so?
I don't feel like a murderer right now.
Well, I don't know how to tell you this. We kind of all are.
Do not take this inherited transgression as one that is a fault of your own. The mask chose you to find its killer, but it had no voice to tell you where to look. But because of the power of a soul guardian, you have been plagued with the horrid misfortune and the horrid guilt of not only the creature itself, but of its killer. This is why whenever you cleanse or... The voice link is silent for a second. Whenever you oppose this corruption, the darkness consuming you starts to wane. When you spoke to your father some weeks ago, and you recalled the warmth of family and companionship, and you cared about that connection and realized that it was not superficial or based off of your performance on your pilgrimage, the darkness waned, yes?
That's correct.
That is because that is where your balance comes from. Your connections. But the more you try to fight it, the more you fear it, the more the darkness will consume you. And through me, you will be able to freely find your balance. And through this, you will find the one who killed your family friend. And you will be able to remove their guilt from your soul. And finally be able to remove that mask from your face. Or, you can keep it and adopt it as your own true kitsune mask. Whatever you may choose in that time is all your own.
How do I start?
Well, you may start now. Carry on with this knowledge that the darkness consuming you is not your own darkness, but a darkness imposed upon you that is only magnified by your doubt, the doubt that you have for yourself. You are not a failure, Emiko Kinoshita. You are a pillar of connection and hope, and you're a beacon of light for all your friends. One of the ways you can get started is watch them when they smile at you and encourage you. And think of the joy that you bring to them living another day as you fell your foes. but I am going to give something to you. Touch the sword upon my statue, and slice your hand upon its blade.
Yeah, so Emika's gonna take another step forward, getting, like, I don't know, like on a rock or something to make herself tall enough, and she's just gonna, like, gently, like, feel the sword for a second before, like, grabbing it with her hand and then just, like, quickly swiping down.
Yeah, and you take 8 points of slashing damage, but then you see the wound immediately, like, light up with, like, a black energy that has, like, a white outline, and it hurts really fucking bad. And you feel this energy seep through your body, and on the tops of either of your hands, on one of them, you see a white teardrop shape with a black dot in it, and on your other hand, a black teardrop, darker than the pigmentation on your skin, so it's visible. Teardrop shape appear with a white dot at its center, and you are about to get something, and I just need to put it in loot for you.
I'm yin and yang.
Whoa.
You've contracted HIV.
No.
You know how many people probably touched that sword?
Like negative people.
I mean, I'm sure at least some people have gotten this far.
No, they thought that the dragon statue was a gargoyle and got scared and smashed it, and then Physis was like, "You didn't even bother to read first."
Too long, didn't read.
Yeah. TLDR, kill the dragon.
I think somebody just like fell into it one day. Just tripped and
Someone bumped into it and knocked the dragon statue into the king statue, and then knocked it into the pedestal with the flower on it, and they all broke at the same time.
And then she was like, "I admire your ingenuity, adventurer," and they got to continue forward, and they went, "Yeah."
Yeah.
they tried to like catch themselves. They grabbed the blade of the sword.
Yeah.
As this adventurer is bumblefucking his way through the fucking trials of Physis, all the different gods are like taking bets. Like, all right, how much you want to bet? Dude, all right, sub 2 hours.
He was actually trying to hunt the stag for food. He's been lost for a while. He needs something to eat.
I love bumblefucking so goddamn much.
What?
Sounds like you're fucking a bumblebee.
No.
It's just such a funny fucking term, bumblefucking.
Emiko, what is your martial arts die at right now?
8, I think. Let me check.
Thank you.
What are you, a fed? Why are you asking questions?
Sudafed.
No.
You sue a fed, and he doesn't have a lawyer. Does he still get a public defender?
Oh, it's a D6.
Thank you.
Stab you to death, Joey.
What?
I'm gonna stab you until you're dead.
Oh.
much movement feet should I have? So, like, 30 base.
Yes.
30 base, 10 from mobile, and 15 from class. So... Hold up. 30, 10, 15. So it should be 55.
If you're standing next to me when your turn starts, it's 65.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. That's why I have a 50 fucking movement speed right now as a goddamn paladin. Actually, shouldn't I have more than that now that I got that cloak fixed? Hold up. No, it's just plus 10.
Do I get plus 65 when I'm close to you? Is that what you said?
Yeah, if you're within 10 feet of me when your turn starts, you get an additional 10 feet of movement speed at the start of the turn.
Okay, I'm gonna mark that on my character sheet so I don't forget it.
And we start every combat next to each other because you're the warding bond target.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope that
Lysel
I
has
wrote this out correctly mechanically.
Lysel has a ring too, but it's mostly for show. They don't fucking need it.
It's sick.
Ooh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, sweet. For the sake of the fact that I'm recording this, whenever Hands of Radiant Light. Whenever you hit a target, you may spend 1 key point to deliver another strike. If this attack hits, choose 1. Forgo dealing damage to heal any targets friendly to you within 30 feet of the target for a total of 5 times the roll of your martial arts die. Or, you can deal damage as normal, but all the damage is radiant damage. Additionally, you gain amount of temporary hit points equal to your level. These temporary hit points do not stack. And you see like a radiant energy start to like pulse under your skin for a second and then wane. And a little bit of the dark coloration on your arms goes down.
So, if I'm reading this right, if Emiko hits just one time with any attack, she can spend a key point to attack again, and then again, and then again.
Yeah, like,
no.
I was gonna...
Until either she misses or runs out of points?
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Hold on, let me... That's why I said...
This is where the Yu-Gi-Oh! Problem-solving card text comes in, and you hit it with a once per turn.
If you want to keep moving on, I can try to clean it up to keep it with your intention.
I just added the clause you may do this once per turn.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Got it. Cool.
Wouldn't it be more like text official to say once per turn whenever you hit a target with an attack?
I mean, yeah,
Honestly,
but like, I don't give a fuck.
Honestly, I just did it in the way that I could add it the fastest. It put my cursor at the bottom of the text box, so I edited it into the bottom of the text box. So that way I didn't record my tippy tapping or my mouse clicking.
Also, if we're going to be pedantic, which I am,
Please do.
the way you suggested it, Dakota, you have to do it the first time you hit on a turn, otherwise it doesn't trigger again.
Also has to be an attack, not like a saving throw. In case Emiko gets fire breath.
Whenever I hit a target.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh, wait, can I use that on reactions, or is that...
Doesn't
It's when you hit a target.
Alright, cool.
Yeah, it's sneak attack rules.
Dunk attack.
Emiko? Johnny inches away from Emiko's face. You alright?
I think Erica's gonna like snap out of it and like look at her hands and be like, huh. And then like look back at you guys like just blinking.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
again, you get a really weird sense of deja vu as you remember sitting with Astra in that tent at the carnival, and how one of your visions was you like looking up at Ire, like hopefully, like the statue of Ire, hopefully, and like gazing down at your hands as you like flex them because something has changed, as you kind of like settle into the moment and realize that that has just happened.
Ooh. One of my future sorry, I just spilt my water canteen all over myself. Anyways.
No!
Okay, you're a fucking mess.
Every object I've ever held in my hand respawned and fell off of my desk.
Did you eat a mushroom or something before we went in here? What's going on with you?
No, it's fine. One of my predictions came true from the carnival.
Oh, which one?
She's gonna kind of just like look at Johnny and then like look back at the statue and then like, look at Johnny.
Well, I wasn't there.
Well, I know, but like, I mean, it's kind of obvious what happened.
Sorry, you got a fortune that you were going to stare at a statue and then cut yourself on it?
If you didn't know, if you weren't there, then how did you know that you weren't there?
Oh, that's right. You were actually. Look,
It's a very
yeah.
accurate but very mundane fortune.
No, it was only like the first part of it, but it's like, okay, so she talked to me.
Oh, okay. Well, now I'm beginning to understand.
I guess
Talk to you. Okay. Well,
I guess
it's a
I probably
statue. I can intuit that much. They all talk. What did it say to you?
She's basically going to help me find balance in myself. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. How?
She like looks like she's trying to lie, but like she doesn't know what to say. And then she's gonna like look down and like kick the dirt and be like, she basically said I'm self-conscious and like I need to work on that.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that. I'm really with this. Yes, let's work on that for sure.
You're in a party with some of the least self-conscious people in all of Teosia.
Here, have Xander compliment you. He's good at that sort of thing.
No, that's okay. It's not a big deal. We'll figure it out. Let's keep going.
Xander.
I see a light that way. We should go that way.
Certainly, but first, I'm sure Xander already has one cooked up. Xander?
Xander looks at Johnny and says, "Quit fucking around."
I'm not fucking around. This is an issue of dire importance. One of my dear compatriots is conscious of themselves.
Xander looks at Emiko for a long moment and says, You look good."
Thanks. And she's gonna hold up another thumbs up.
Excellent. Let's try to do one a day at least. Now, shall we continue? It seems that Physis' trial has been hijacked by an odd statue, but no matter. We continue.
We do indeed continue.
My book. Where? Did it fall off my desk again? God damn it.
Shove it up your ass.
Nope. That would make it even more difficult to get back out when I need it.
Illustrator?
not Dakota judging me for being unable to put a book in my ass and then take it out quickly.
How
I
are
mean,
you
as
ever
a
going to
human
survive?
being, you should be able to fit 3 raccoons up your ass.
I'm not.
Is that?
I'm not humaning good enough, apparently, because I can't put 3 raccoons in my ass. This is bullshit.
I feel like she was pretty fucking clear. I don't know. You sound confused. I don't know why.
I guess I'll just never be good enough. That's fine.
All of
All
a
right,
sudden,
Chad.
the dungeon fills with seagulls.
Mine.
Or get flipped to death.
Yeah,
They're gonna
also-
carry you away.
Yeah, they also steal sandwiches y'all didn't know you have from you. Like, they take something off your person and they fly away with the sandwich, and you didn't even know you had it. But now you're pissed off because, hey, fuck you, my sandwich.
What if I wanted to eat that after finding out I had it?
Well, Emiko probably would have packed sandwiches for everyone, so damn, the sandwiches.
No.
No, the
Polymorph into
sandwiches.
a T-Rex.
Eat the seagulls.
Alright, I'm sorry. I'm grabbing something. I promise I am dungeoneering, dungeon mastering.
Somebody paralyze that seagull so I can crit his ass with a smite.
So, as you
I can
two...
poison it.
As you all progress past the
I don't know if that
hallway,
works.
there are 2 paths, each with like a little symbol above them. One of them is marked with this symbol. Sorry that these are on paper. One of them is marked with this symbol.
I go in the first one.
Yeah, looks sexy.
Sexy.
What?
I put my dick in that symbol.
Oh wait, this kind of looks like the symbol I just got in my hands, right?
Wait, hold up. That symbol better calm the fuck down.
The second symbol is, yes, does look like the 2 symbols you got on your hands. The first one.
I think Emiko
Good.
would just start subconsciously walking towards that symbol.
Oh, Xander
Like-
would change course and follow Emiko.
Like, Emiko walks up and is like, yeah, totally, the first symbol, but she says that out loud as she's walking towards the second one. Yeah,
That's the
let's
first
do
one
that.
she saw.
R.I.P.
Yeah, guys, I'll go the way you're going, goes the complete opposite direction. Oh, this is
To be
crazy.
fair, it does look like titties.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
So, at the end of the sort of corridor, at some point the area started to like shift and the floors started to be two-toned, and there's like chains that are like parallel to one another on each side, dangling from the ceiling, and the air starts to get a little colder. And you don't see a door, but you see a like ellipse-shaped, like swirling purple vortex, like a portal of some sorts. And on the floor in front of it is the similar teardrop shape that you saw before. Well, teardrop shapes, I should say, because there was 2 of them.
What make you of this trial, TJ Elwood?
On it, boss. Can I get the description one more time? I'm trying to visualize this.
So basically, at the end of the corridor, you see that the floors became like two-toned, so like they're black on one side, they're white on the other side. And at the end of it, there is a swirling purple, like ellipse-shaped vortex that's like swirling, and on the floor in front of it, the symbol is on the ground instead of like marked on a hallway. It looks like a portal of sorts.
So when you say ellipsoidal, you mean that it looks like an oval, like it's not ovular because that's a different thing, but it's like oval-like.
Yeah. See,
Okay.
that's why I said ellipse to avoid trying to pronounce that.
You said it's a portal?
I said it looks like a portal. Yes.
I'm gonna walk into it.
Just like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I don't give a
like Johnny asked Jelwa to like examine it, and then Xander just like whistling just walks in. Do the rest of you follow?
Yeah.
The floor is
Yeah.
two-toned. Does it look like a checkerboard or a chessboard?
Nope, just like vertically split in half. One half is like a black marble, the other half is like a white.
When Xander enters the portal, does he do so via one path or the other?
You asking me?
I'm asking in general, like when you walk into the portal, I mean, sure, yeah, I guess, because I'm assuming because like the entire room has these two-tone tiles all over it.
Yeah, this
Two-tone
is
tiles, so you can't like avoid it.
this is just the this is just at the end of the corridor. For the sake of not having a critical role chair moment, it's the entrance to the next trial. Just because of time constraints.
Awesome. What's on the other side?
I'm so proud of you, Chas.
Like, I was like, alright, I'll let them overthink about it for a second because it's funny. And then I was like, man, we might be here for a while. Anyway.
Genuinely, fucking thank you.
Like,
So it's not a puzzle, it's just a portal. Great. Walk through the
it's
portal.
Walk
yeah,
through the
like, I
portal.
thought you guys were gonna have a cute roleplay moment where it's like, is this the trial? Just the fucking, like, is this thing it? And then it was like you're gonna be like,
Sorry, I
don't
went
know.
immediately into puzzle-solving mode.
Yeah, no, you're good. Like, I was gonna let y'all overthink it for a second, then I was like, just walk in the bitch.
The first puzzle we did in here was to break the statue of a fucking obvious douchebag, so I'm guessing we're not in for anything real fucking complicated. Which, honestly, good. I'm bad at puzzles. I'm not complaining. Please, for the love of God, don't give me anything.
So, when you make your way into the portal, basically it's just a portal instead of a door. On the other side, you see a mostly like circular-esque room. It's more of like a semicircle. It doesn't like fully complete, because the back wall where the portal is like completely flat. But when you walk in, it is dark and okay, you know what? I'm just gonna delete this because it's not working. That's fine. Sorry. It is like a kind of like dark purplish color. It kind of looks like it's made out of like dark stone, and there's clouds of mist. The area feels, again, strangely cold. You feel that cold, numb feeling you get in your skin when you're about to have pins and needles without the pain of pins and needles. It is particularly null in this area, and in the far back of the room, basically directly across from where you all are, there is a... There we go. Jesus fucking Christ. Sorry, something I was trying to do was not working, and I was trying to like talk and do it at the same time, and it was pissing me off. Essentially, at the far back of the room, and similarly to like the hallway leading up, the floor is completely split in half between black and white, perfectly split in half. And there is chains hanging from the ceiling. Again, they are all perfectly parallel with one another, matching the measurements of the room. And once again starting this because I forgot to describe the rest of the room before describing what was back here. In the back of the room, there is another statue of Ire, and they are holding out their hands, and there is something in each hand. There is a sort of like tear stone shaped, it looks like their holy symbol, that they're holding the halves of it in their hands. And I would like everybody to make me a perception check real quick.
Real quick one time. Ooh, another natural one.
Ooh.
All Percocet.
Anything with detect magic here?
You... Let me look something up so I can give you accurate information.
I'm about to start pulling on these chains.
Yanking my chain here.
Yeah.
Okay. This room is kind of just filled to the brim with, like, varying degrees of evocation magic. However, they are muted, but not in a way where the magic is suppressed. It's actually a very strange sensation. It's almost like they are, like, despite being various power levels of magic, they are all kind of, like, evened out. But, you know, it's the room of the god of balance, so, like, you know... The god of balance's thing is balanced? That's crazy.
Unprecedented.
Are all the
Johnny
chains
shares
the
this.
same length?
Yes.
Fuck.
Well, Sir Elwood, what shall you do in your trial?
Real quick, let me look at these rolls. So, Emiko,
Yeah.
you look around and you see that there is writing on the chest plate of Ire's armor as their hands are extended out holding these two crystalline looking like tear stones, again representing their holy symbol. And the text here says, "To achieve balance is to make it so that everything is in its rightful place, to ensure that all other cycles can proceed as they are meant to." I also spelled something wrong, and it's going to bother me when I type it in. To achieve balance, one might need to act as a harbinger, or one might need to act as a savior. In neither of these acts, a choice must be made. And then, on the, base of the statue, there is an inscription that's a little more visible. Everyone can kind of see this one, but Emiko, you would have had to point out the writing on the chest plate. But it says, "In each of these orbs is a choice of balance. Break them on the ground and find yourself in front of either choice." And in Ire's left hand, there is a white tear stone with a black orb swirling on the inside of it. And in the other hand is a black tear stone with a white orb swirling on the inside of it.
Elwood.
I'll take the Alright, I'll just take the white one first.
All right. Yeah, so nothing seems to happen when you pick it up initially. It is weirdly it is also warm to the touch, but it's warm to the touch in the way of, like, have you ever touched, like, ice and the ice is so cold that it burns and you have a burning sensation instead of a cooling one?
Yeah, frostburn.
Yeah, it's like that.
I'm gonna take both of them. Can I take both of them, actually? Can I grab them both?
Yes, you can.
I'm gonna smash them into each other.
DM panic. That's fine. This is gonna be very interesting.
Balance as all things should be.
So... when... Panic! Not really. When this happens, you see the ground beneath you start to, like, crack. And you see the room, as you currently see it, start to break away. You see the floor start to split, although perfectly evenly, by the way. Like, it's, like, scary and stuff, but it is still, like, splitting evenly, and the chains start to rattle, and you see the world start to break away, and the area around you starts to shift, revealing a open space, again, perfectly split between, like, black and white marble, but there is a empty expanse surrounding you, almost like you're on a, like, area isolated. There is a quote-unquote sky that goes on seemingly forever that is dark gray in coloration with rolling clouds, but you don't see anything over the horizon. No mountains, no sun, no moon, no nothing, just a empty expanse that fades off into what you can only perceive as maybe a mist, or just as far as your eyes allow you to see in general. The room has multiple layers where, you know, there's like a wide flight of stairs, and because you broke both of the orbs, something interesting has happened. You see two creatures. One of them is long and white and serpentine, and it is covered in, like, feathers, including some that are on its face that curl around to cover its eyes. Looks like a, like, draconic looking snake, and it rests, but it has a giant black spear plunged into its body, and it's breathing very heavily. On the other side of the room, parallel to this, you see a large black, what appears to be a dragon, just a black dragon, laying on the ground, also breathing very heavily, and it has jagged black scales. Its wings are torn in one place, but not enough to where they can't function, but just enough to where it's probably excruciatingly painful. And it has a white spear plunged into its chest, but obviously it is not mortal, as the creature is still alive. As you all enter this space, I'm gonna do a thing real quick. Yeah, so Jay, when you smack the two together and everything falls away, and the world, like, rumbles and shifts and shakes, you find yourself standing again in this wide space. And you see two creatures that are injured and seemingly not, you know, they don't seem to act violently. God, I couldn't think of the word violent. God, what's wrong with me today? I can't think of, like, very simple words. But both of them are injured in a very similar way.
Okay. For both of these creatures, the weapons that they're pierced with, are they, like, gigantic?
They are fairly large, yes.
Fairly large. Like if I tried to approach it and pull it out, I wouldn't be able to, kind of thing.
I wouldn't say it'd be impossible to. It would probably take a, bit of effort, but I mean, like, they're not so large that it's, like, pointless. They're still definitely, like, weapons. They're just, like, weapons made for someone who's maybe, like, slightly bigger than you.
Which of the two looks like they are suffering more?
Make me... So there's a few things that you can make here. So I would like you to make me your choice of a medicine check or an insight check.
This is going to be the better one there for an 18.
I can help if that's allowed.
Yeah. If you'd like to make that with advantage.
Appreciate it. Still an 18.
Cool. So, you look between the two creatures, and basically the more serpentine one, again, it has these like small wings that wrap around its face and kind of like cross over its eyes. You can't see the expression in its eyes. You just see that it is panting, and it is heavily bleeding. It has black blood pouring from the wound in its torso. But it is just sitting there, like, heavily breathing, whereas the dragon has, the spear, like, protruding out of its chest, again, that is, like, ivory white, and then it has this, like, silver, off-white, like, shiny blood pouring out of its chest. However,
It's got that anime censored blood.
Thank you. I'm glad that is what you perceived it as.
I'm sorry.
No. I'm glad that... never mind. I'm not gonna ruin my own protection. The creature, however, is... Despite the severity of both their wounds is exactly the same. However, the one reacting to it more is the dragon.
The black dragon?
The black dragon, yes. It is, like, breathing heavily. You can see the pain in its eyes.
Then, what I will do in that case is I will, walk up to the staircase of the white serpent, and I will put the healing potion on the ground that, Johnny gave me earlier. And then I will walk over to the black dragon itself going up the stairs. And I am going to attempt to climb up onto it to where I can get to the spear and pull out the spear so that I can properly heal the wound if possible.
Yeah, so what I would like you to do is I would like you to make me a athletics check. And keep in mind that the DC for this is going to be fairly high.
Yeah, I'm going to use my Channel Divinity to give myself advantage on that.
But real quick...
I'm going to give you inspiration for it, too.
Sweet. But I almost forgot, because I just was, like, hyper-focused. As you're approaching, the dragon, like, kind of, like, waves its head, almost as if, like, shaking its head no. And it looks at you, and a very loud, like, echoey voice, like, comes from it, and says, "Do not."
Do not what?
Do
not heal you?
The dragon, like, shakes its head and says, "This is my penance."
Penance for what crime?
I have failed my family, my brood. This is a justice that I must pay, painful as it may be.
paying penance for a crime and I don't even know the charge. How did you fail them?
There was another dragon, stronger than I, with scales the color of blood, so much so that if you harmed him, you could not see him bleed. And I failed to protect my broodmates from his talons. And I, in my cowardice, at some point fled, sparing myself instead of dying to protect them. And this, and he looks at the spear and the white, like, ivory blood pooling on the ground underneath him. This is how I am shown the weight of my actions.
So rather than allow me to heal you and go back and chase this quarry so that he might not harm any other families ever again, you're going to decide to lie here and die?
He, looks around at the, sky and says, I feel like I will be on the precipice of death but never quite reach it for the rest of time. Jay, I would like you to make me a persuasion check.
Really good at those. Natural 20 for a 26, plus a D8.
Yeah, it seems that your words have... he's considered them in a way that, he, hadn't considered himself, You brought a point of view, and he will look down at you and, lay his head to the ground as if giving you, an easier way to climb onto his back via, climbing on his snout first. And say, I have trouble hearing your words with this festering wound. Do what you must.
And then I'm going to, rather than use my lay on hands, I'm going to give him a prayer of healing. And that's going to heal him for 13 points of damage.
Alright. And then you may proceed with your channel divinity and athletics check.
Yeah. It's going to be a 29.
Yeah. You climb up, and he lets you, step on, his muzzle, and then you walk up his head and then up his neck, because he's a, pretty big dude. And you can see where the exit wound, well, not the exit wound, the entrance wound of the spear plunging in, basically through the spine and then coming out of the chest. And you grab onto it, and the spear is about, it's longer than you are tall, but, most polearm weapons need to be, of a sufficient, length, but this one is, also just much larger. It's meant for someone who's probably, maybe 10 plus feet tall, maybe even 15 feet tall. But you were able to, kind of, wrap your arms around it, and you were able to kind of, shink.
What's it made of?
It is made out of, a blend of, some sort of ivory and then some sort of, steel that you do not recognize. It's very shiny and very, perfectly smooth to the touch. The craftsmanship.
So it is not made of crystal, is what you're saying.
It is not made out of crystal. That's a reference to something not out yet, because I haven't edited it. But you pull the spear out of the dragon's body, and he yells in pain as you do so. But then, like, since you healed him before, the wound is, like, somewhat closed, so that way he doesn't just start fucking bleeding internally as the magic works. But at the same time as this happens, something else happens. You feel a strange, like, weight in your chest, the weight that you get when you have made a decision. The weight that you get when you know that you have made a good decision. And you hear a voice ring out throughout that says, "To achieve balance is to make it so that everything is in its rightful place, to ensure that all other cycles can proceed as they are meant to. To achieve balance, one might need to act as a harbinger, or one might need to act as a savior. And either of these acts, a choice must be made." And then an addendum added that was not in the initial plaque outside, says, "And sometimes you must act as both." And you hear like a... Well, Joey, you know what this sounds like. What sounds like the rattling of like a rattlesnake, like that kind of like... And everyone sees as the large serpentine creature like kind of like uncoils itself and like kind of like flails, and the black spear gets like thrown out of its body, and this is for cinematic reasons, I'm not gonna hurt you guys. You see it like fly at the rest of your party and like stake into the ground like right at like Xander's feet, and it is like bigger than he is. And you see like the creature like rear up and like hiss, its wound disappearing, and its like feathers like ruffling and expanding out, revealing like 6 different pairs of wings. And you hear the voice again, "Restore the balance." And I would like everybody to roll initiative.
Oh man, I didn't want to kill him. Also, I didn't want to fight it at all. We are level 8 and that's a fucking dragon.
Are we are going, yeah.
Presumably, yeah. Well, how long have we been traveling when we found this?
When you found the dungeon, it was at the end of an adventuring day.
Although 10 hours, so we would not be going right now.
Okay, and then did Xander give us temporary hit points at the end of the last session, or did he put them recently?
Temporary hit points? What do you mean?
From aid.
Those are not, strictly speaking, temporary hit points, but yes.
Also, I don't think they go away, do they? Like, how long do those last?
How much was it? Was it 10?
15.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, however...
We also wouldn't have aid, because it's been 10 hours.
Okay, so it does go away.
Damn.
Okay. In that case, I have an initiative roll. I was waiting to see.
Also, as this, like, is all happening, the black dragon, like, kind of, like, steps over you, Jay, for a second. Like, he, like, got up and you kind of, like, he kind of, like, helped you, like, slink off, you know? Like, okay, I'm standing up now. Shit's happening.
Yeah.
But he kind of, like, stands over you defensively. Not, like, blocking you from, like, moving or anything, but, like, you have made an ally.
Cool. After I roll initiative, which is really low, I need to go real quick. I'll be right back.
Cass, if you could just let me know at any point in time during the dungeon that I'm unable to continue on Aspen. Because otherwise I'm going to assume that I can, because I think when we first saw the door, I asked if it would be big enough to ride with it, and he said yeah.
Yep. Let me just roll initiative for your buddy. Y'all scared me at first. Because technically this was supposed to be one or the other. Or you did both because you did one and then the other.
Wait, so if we heal both of them at the same time, we'd have to fight both of them?
Not necessarily. There was basically Ire was testing your bias. So basically, if you had went to one each individually, you would have had to judge the creature solely on its own, on whether or not you thought that it was a good idea to rescue it, or if you were just going to fight it. But then, looking at them at the same time, there was the thing of, like, there is two of them, and you can judge them both by looking at them at the same time. But then Jay just approached it in a very interesting way by asking which one looked like it was suffering more. So that was cool. No, I'm glad we did this. This is cool.
Where's Johnny's initiative? Oh, there it is.
Or not Johnny, sorry.
18.
Wow, everybody rolled terribly today. For initiative.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it only took my last luck point and my fourth soul of the day to get there.
Oh my god. Three?
I'm far away. It's switch. There.
Okay, ouchie. Thankfully, Jobby is lowered in initiative. Then I have everybody. Vivian is not here, so get out of here. Delete. You're not here right now. We will miss you.
Feel bad she's not here to fight the first dragon with us.
This isn't the first dragon.
It is.
Lozano turned into like a dragon-like, inky, scary thingy. And that counts.
Oh, considering it got the orb. Seems like a dragon badge to me.
Dragon badge.
You also got, you did get a little orb too. Cube! Cube! Cube!
Oh, and I forgot to realize they woke up. Do. Oh yeah, what is Aspen's speed? I never actually got an official answer from you. You just said it was faster than the phantasmal horse thingies.
Well, so I looked up what during that time I had looked up like how fast the raptors were, and then it was like 37 miles per hour or some shit. But for the sake of a stat block, I would put I would put like 60, and then for accountability's sake, if it changes from now, that's just how it be.
So 60 feet per room? Got it.
Well, actually like 120 feet if that's all they're doing.
Man, we are far away from Jay.
Yeah, and then for the sake of the fact that I didn't have a stat block for it, because every time I say I'm going to do something, I get sick or die or something else happens and I forget, I'll make any rolls that Aspen needs to, and then I'll have it to you next time now that Aspen's getting involved in combat.
I think the first couple combats are going to be more of a learning experience. Where I'm like, okay, this is what we're doing, just kind of get used to the movement, and then we'll worry about doing damage.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, you know, dragons have AoE attacks, so... Alrighty. I was gonna try and stall until Jobby got back. Is Jobby back?
Yeah, here's the thing about AoE attacks. Mountain Combatant as a feat, really good.
True.
So that way, what does that feat do? So that way I know.
So the really relevant thing here is I can force an attack targeting my mount to target me instead. And if my mount is subjected to an effect that allows it to make a dexterity saving throw or take half damage, it instead takes no damage on a success and half on a fail.
Okay. That is definitely very important for me to know. Thank you.
Looks like we're using a lot of evasion today.
I am not too terribly worried about Aspen getting hurt.
Okay, cool. That was honestly what I was worried about. I was like, man, you know, little guy. But since
for the sake of brevity, what is his health? That is an important number to know.
Right now it is 45.
Okay, I will keep track of that in case things get a little dicey. Because you know, half could still be too much.
But I'm gonna get started. I was gonna try to stall for people to come back, but one of the creatures is first, so we're gonna get started. So this big serpentine creature kind of rises into the air. It's like multiple sets of wings flapping, and it kind of coils around itself, kind of like the way this could be a funny comparison that Shenron in Dragon Ball is always when he's hovering in the air, he's always pretzeled a little bit, but it still looks cool. Like that, except this creature is endless in length almost. And it It is still just too far away. That's fine. It'll stay here though because it's not dumb. And also, I'm gonna put something in its name. It is 15 feet off the ground. So I'm just going to put a 15 in parentheses. I'm also going to start streaming for Groove because I'm a good person. Yeah, okay. But because it doesn't want to put itself in this stupid position, and it was far away, that will be... Well, no. Yeah, I can just do that. Alrighty. Lysel, it is your turn.
Would it be a safe assumption to assume that I could reasonably strike the striking the serpent from riding Aspen's back with the billhook?
It's 15 feet in the air.
Got a range of 10 feet on top of a creature that's already big.
I'm sure that there's probably an official rule somewhere that tells me no, but I'm going to say yes.
Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and ride over to this striking serpent and make some attacks. Of course, they could be at advantage, but this thing's huge. We're going to go ahead and use the dolphin amulet to cast haste first, so I'm going to make a total of 1 attack.
Bonk.
It's a natural 20.
Here we go again.
We're going to spend a soul point to buff the damage. We're also going to go ahead and mark it.
Reaper's Mark. Reaper's Mark.
And I will empower that mark, of course.
Reaper's Mark.
33.
Real quick, what damage type is your Reaper weapon?
Necrotic.
Okay, then never mind, you're good.
Huh. Don't do that. That would be so sad.
Sorry, I needed to know it was important. If you were fighting the other guy, that would have been bad.
For the first attack, I'm trying to remember whether or not the marking. Yeah, it does do it. It does do any damage. Okay, cool. I'm not crazy. That's gonna be 72 points of damage from the first attack.
Damage is noted.
And then I can attack it again because I empowered the mark, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Correct.
All of the effects of the Reaper's Mark and its Empower happen, like, when it's activated, so you get the effects immediately.
We got a soul back from that full spent, so it's fine. We'll see if this hits. I'm not entirely sure if it will. Plus. Will a 19 hit?
Yes, a 19 will. Cutting it close.
Okay. Cutting it close, indeed. And that's going to be 30 points of damage.
Damage is noted. Anything else for your turn?
No, that doesn't get. That was my action, movement, bonus action, all that fun stuff.
Alright. Yep, okay. I was just making sure I wasn't lying. The Striking Serpent is going to use a legendary action to bite you.
Come at me.
Okay. That is a 24 to hit.
The 24 would hit, but I'm going to cast Shield. If I'm able to do that.
Stretch. Yeah, you should. You have a reaction.
Alright, yeah, we'll cast some Shield. So that'll bump my AC up to 25.
And so you see this large snake's like curved fangs like come down to like fucking bite you. But you're able to like swipe them away, and they like kind of like curve around your bill hook for a second, but then it like rears its head back as you avoid being struck.
Thunderstruck?
You ran! Okay. Johnny, it is your turn.
Casting web. over the creature. Layered on the ground in the creature's face, keeping it at probably towards the perimeter, such that my allies can go in and slap it.
So the creature is 15 feet in the air. Does a web apply midair or on the ground? Sorry.
No shit. You should let me know that. I wouldn't do that then.
Okay.
Instead, I'm going to cast Fairy Fire. Have it make me a dex save, please.
Alright. That is a 15?
Fails. Yeah, so Johnny vomits up this gem filled with lights. He tosses it to Xander, who crushes and disperses the shards, illuminating the creature, giving it a faint outline that informs us of its movements. So everybody, objects and affected creatures will shed light, dim light, 10-foot radius, and attack rolls have advantage. Johnny, please write in my skeletons and the zombie. Johnny is also set on all sides except his front by rest-casted illusory copies now. Yeah, and then going to have the skeletons attack.
Don't forget to make an extra attack.
Oh yeah, just do it twice. Also advantage, so I have to do it. Okay. Skeleton 1 rolls 2 7s, neither hit. Skeleton 2 does a 16 hit.
16 will not hit.
Okay, it's an 8 will not hit. But I'm really struggling here. Skeleton 3 does a 21 hit.
A 21 will hit.
Okay, 3 piercing damage. And then slam. I roll. Is a 15 hit?
15 will not hit.
Okay. And then magic missile from Philip. We get 6 magical damage on the creature. And that will be the end of my turn.
Did you also the D8 plus 3 do any?
Oh, I didn't even do the second attack. Damn. What am I adding?
A D8 plus 3.
Does that include magic missile?
I was about to go check that. I'm not sure.
Is it attack rolls only, or like no? Does 17 hit?
17 will just hit.
Okay. Skeleton 1, second attack, 7 piercing damage. Skeleton 2, second attack, 6 piercing damage. No, not 6. 7 piercing damage. Skeleton 3, second attack. It will hit for another 6 piercing damage. And then the slam will not hit. And that makes it 3 attacks that hit, as well as magic missile, 3 magic missiles. Dakota, do you have my information?
It's only on physical attacks.
Okay, so 3, it's D8 you said, plus what?
I'm not sure where I saw that. I could have sworn I knew what the Rubik mark. Yeah. Equal to your wisdom modifier plus your roll souls dice. That's D8 plus 3.
D8, so 3D8.
And also,
Plus
the 1d8 applies the first time each turn they take damage.
Got it, just once. Alright, and that's going to be an extra 20 damage from those.
Fair point.
And Johnny ends his turn.
Alrighty. Cool. It is now going to be this motherfucker's turn. The big dragon. He is going to take off and fly over and make 3 attacks. Do this very quickly.
Bite, claw.
Yoink.
How far is he off the ground? Is he like off the ground or like?
Yeah, he's off. He is matching the serpent, so he is 15 feet in the air.
Sorry, you can do one more thing. No, my turn's passed. I'm gonna get blasted by this motherfucker.
Miss, hit, sick.
Uh-oh, did it get to wake up?
Oh, the creature has advantage, by the way, from Fairy Fire.
Oh yeah.
All attack rolls have advantage.
Might it get over?
So then that miss will actually be a hit, and then crit checking. No. Okay. Okay. And then making the extra attack from Reaper's Mark. Ugh, you bitch. Okay, he missed that one. That's fine. Yeah, you see this black dragon like take off from above Jay and then start like biting and like smashing its claws into this other creature. As it is being your friend. Right. But at the end of the dragon's turn, the striking serpent is going to use another legendary action to once again try to bite Lysel.
Well, here we go again. Well, my AC is decently high.
That is a 26 to hit. I don't remember what your shield AC is.
I believe my shield AC is 25.
Yeah, so this thing like hisses and then like, you know, like, alright, we'll do this shit again. Strikes you. And okay. Moves my fucking dice tray closer to my monitor screen so I can see my dice. My lamp isn't plugged in and I don't feel like doing it right now. Ew.
This is gonna hurt, I'm sure.
Oh no, okay. That is going, oh my god. That is going to be 20 points of piercing damage.
I feel like there's a hand coming.
No, the reason I went, oh my god, is because for some reason my head hurts so bad and I like leaned forward in a way that made it like feel like I had actually fallen like 20 feet instead of moved my face 3 inches. But I'm actually...
that is damage.
Okay, yeah, that is a separate attack. Cool. Okay. No, I just had to read the stat block, so I was like, But that will make it Xander's turn.
Xander is going to reach into his coat pocket and pull out what appears to be a playing card. He's going to flick it towards the creature, and as it approaches the creature, it shows the serpent the face of the card, which is a Joker, but it is in the form of Johnny O'Phage, and
Holy
as
fuck.
the Johnny on the card sees the serpent, he crawls out, pushes out his hands, and bombards
Holy
the
fuck.
creature with dream energy. I need it to make an intelligence saving throw with a -7 penalty.
That must be the Joker that gives the enemies a -7 when you get straight on the initiative roll.
What happens when you get an initial roll?
That is going to be... Fuck. Fuck. No, come back. That is going to be a 12.
It fails, takes 27 psychic damage, and is incapacitated until the start of my next turn.
Whoa.
What is this?
Relithim's Psychic Lance.
Oh, nice. Oh, you have to edit that out.
Do.
Yeah, so as card Johnny approaches it, its mind bounces back fractally to the moment it was stabbed and the pain of it, and it sort of iterates backwards infinitely, reliving that moment a million times in the next 6 seconds. And that is, well, I was going to say that's the end of my turn, but it's not quite, because I'm also going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 feet this way. And that'll be the end of my turn.
Alrighty then, since you made it incapacitated, it does fall a little bit.
Ooh, how high is it now?
Well, now it's on the ground.
Oh, yeah!
To take fall damage?
Yeah, I got that.
It takes a single die fall damage.
It is worth noting, Relithim's Psychic Lance does not say that it loses its movement speed, and the incapacitated condition just keeps it from taking action.
Okay, it doesn't like make it like fucking like stop doing something it's doing.
It does not say that, it just says it is incapacitated.
That's crazy.
Okay, I'll put the... Yeah, I'll put
So it can still move, but that is all it can do.
Ah, okay, so it wouldn't fall.
Correct. Sorry.
Can't take actions or reactions.
What about legendary actions? I guess those are actions.
Action.
Alright, anything else for your turn, Xander?
Nope.
Alright, Emiko, it is your turn.
Okay, I have a question first of all. How tall is, Aspen? Like, from his head to the ground.
Probably about 6 feet tall.
Okay, and then if I use both my bonus actions and 2 key points to dash twice, can I double my jump speed and then double it again?
I'm getting a flashback to a previous conversation.
I know, but now you let me do...
Well, also
You let
last
me
time I just let you fucking make a check for it and yump.
Okay, because...
Which is probably better for you. As per the rules, you can only dash once. If you dashed again, you'd double your movement speed, but it wouldn't increase in any way.
Why not?
Based on your base. Based on your base movement speed.
I mean, that's still an extra 100 feet at that point.
Basically, I'm trying to get my jump to 12 instead of fucking 6 or something.
Yeah, make me an acrobatics check.
Okay.
Do a backflip.
Now, sometimes the rules for jumping in this game are a little ridiculous. So...
22.
Yeah, so... Is your goal, like, are you gonna try to, like, do a running jump off of Lysel's fucking head?
Well, Aspen's head, but yeah. Like, up the tail, like, past Lysel off the head onto Snaky Boy.
Yeah,
Off the backboard, off your skateboard.
Already off the bill hook.
That too.
You boing off the fucking bill hook. A 22 will succeed.
Okay, and then I'm going to attack it twice with my skates. So...
Yeah, don't go stomping on no dino, have those skates. The
You have advantage on your attacks.
Yeah. First attack
And you can
is...
attack it one more time.
One more time.
Yeah, because of my gun.
Okay. 23 to hit.
A 23 hits.
Does a 22 hit?
A 22 hits.
Okay. And then I get another attack. Another 22. And then I get another attack because of the Radiant Hands. And that would be a 24 to hit. Okay. So I am using my hand of farming on the first one, and then also for the last one it does radiant damage. So give me like a half a minute.
Decided I'm going to give Xander a playing card motif.
Playing card lawyer.
Allie saw the third Deadpool movie and saw Gambit exist and was like, ah!
Ooh, I'm about to make a name for myself, yeah.
It might have also been influenced by Velatro, yeah.
Yeah,
I knew that too.
Electro. It's all about the Jokers, baby.
Yeah, you started playing Belatro, and then the next night we played D&D, and then you were like, Xander pulls out a card, and I was like, here we go. In an alternate universe, Xander is playing a mage instead of a bard.
Totally
Okay.
bored, yeah.
Should I separate radiant or acid damage or necrotic?
No. I asked
Okay,
myself that
so-
earlier, and then I was misremembering the thing I used. That's
Okay, so for all the attacks, I do 37 damage.
Ouchie.
And then I get temporary hit points equal to 8. So okay. And then because I used my hands of farming, I'm going to poison this creature. So it has disadvantages on attacks and ability rolls. And I use like 4 hit points.
You know, it just comes and goes. Blah, 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 blah.
Initial
Mickey missed a little bit of damage. So grab the D +3.
5 more damage.
Dink, dink. Damage is in there. Anything else for your turn, Emiko?
Nope, that's it.
Alright, let me put that is on there.
Oh, I'm grabbing on.
Get his ass.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright. Jay, it is your turn.
All right. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. This thing is still in the air, right?
Yes, 15 feet up.
So, one thing I need to ask,
Mm-hmm.
because I gotta ask. I know that we're attacking this thing. I know that it's attacking us back. Does this thing look like it is just straight up like an animal? Is this like a pure, not thinking, acting strictly off of some sort of primal instinct kind of creature? Like, is there a shred of intelligence within this thing's eyes or in its movements?
Yes.
Yes?
There is. It seems that... actually, make me an insight check real quick for the rest of that.
15.
You look at it, and it seems that it is... Excuse me, I almost burped into the mic. Basically, this creature is... The best way I can say it is that it is acting out of spite. It is being spiteful right now. It is being adversarial on purpose.
Oh, the problem with one purpose: kick his ass.
Does it look like it would be able to comprehend speech at all?
Likely.
Likely?
It hasn't said anything to you.
I'm not gonna be able to hit it anyways, regardless of what I do this turn. So where I'm standing, I'm just going to start shouting at it. I never wanted to hurt you to begin with. And from what it sounds like, you and this black dragon here have your own problems to work out. I was hoping I could end things amicably.
Jay pulled the spear out of the other one, right?
Nope.
Yes.
Oh, well, out of the black dragon.
I pulled the spear out of the black dragon. I was going to pull the spear out of the other one. I laid the healing potion at its steps so that it would see that I was trying to heal it. That was the intention, anyway.
You said the spear in the black dragon was oversized, right?
Well, the other one got blown out.
The other spear flew out of it, yeah.
Yeah, so they both had so when you entered, they both had a spear in it. The white serpent had a spear lodged in its, flank because it's serpentine.
But what I'm getting at is if Jay pulled the one out of the black dragon, yeah?
Uh-huh.
And he didn't say he put it down, so he still has it. And you said it was an oversized spear, so it would have a 15-foot reach, which means you can absolutely hit that motherfucker if you want.
Well, his sword has a 20-foot reach.
It does?
Yeah.
Wait,
you
what?
merged.
Did I write that in?
You took the artist's sword.
Oh, it totally does. Yeah, I even wrote that down too.
Yeah, I just thought you did the math of how far you were away and how far it was up, and just decided that was out of your reach, and I was just gonna believe you.
Well, because it's 5. Well, so it's 10 feet away and 15 feet up, which, if we use Pythagorean's theorem, I think does put it at about exactly I think it's 17 feet or something stupid like that.
Well, your reach is 20.
My reach is 20, so yeah, it is close enough. But regardless, I want to see what its response is to me trying to essentially beg it for peace.
Make me a persuasion check.
I didn't get any other inspirations or anything like that on a different turn, did I?
Nope.
No? Okay, then 18.
Did you use the inspiration last time?
I used it on the nat 20. I probably didn't need to, but I did.
Okay.
Well, you don't have to roll the inspiration until after you roll your regular die.
Oh. Did you account for the inspiration with the nat 20, or did I just say nat 20 and you just said it succeeds?
Yeah, you didn't tell me. You didn't announce that you used your inspiration.
Okay, in that case, that 18 is becoming a 25.
Yeah, so the creature, it kind of again, as it's kind of magically, like, you see that its, like, eyes are twitching because of the spell that Xander cast on it. And its, like, large head kind of, like, looks over to you. Again, its eyes are, like, you know, kind of, like, focusing and unfocusing. And it's kind of, like, drooling a little bit. And you hear a voice that kind of, like, the creature's mouth doesn't move. It doesn't physically talk like the other dragon did. But you hear its, like, snake-like voice kind of echo throughout the room. And it says, "Your god has labeled me a imbalance that must be cleansed.
My god isn't here, and there's a healing potion at your stairs."
The creature, like, narrows its eyes, and says, and it, like, cocks its head to the side and says, "Would you be willing to accept failure of this stage of your trial to spare me?"
My tenets are not of balance, they are of glory, and there is little glory in killing a wounded animal.
The creature, like, narrows its eyes again. And, its form starts to melt. The feathers start to fall off of its body.
Oh, my bad.
The body of the black dragon also starts to melt. And they both start to coalesce together and swirl. And you once again hear the echoing part of a specific line that says, "To achieve balance, one might need to act as a harbinger, or one might need to act as a savior. In either of these acts, a choice must be made." And both of them melt back into the two tearstone pieces on the floor.
One must also remember that the balance to war is peace.
Yeah, you get the feeling that that feeling you got in your chest earlier that you had made a good decision, as both of the creatures melt into the stone. The two stones that you broke earlier. And then you hear a voice that does, it seems less of like the area like echoing the, I guess the best word would be to call it a tenant around you. You hear a soft voice that it's familiar to Emiko say, "The key component of balance is that there is not ever one way to achieve it. The world cannot be measured by good and evil. The world cannot fully be measured by right and wrong, as it is all about perspective. You have maintained your balance by doing the right thing no matter what was presented with you. You have succeeded." And the room, like, splits again, and, like, you see, like, kind of like chalk, the, like, black and white floors, like, blow away in the wind, and you are left in the room that you started in, standing in front of the statue of Ire with their hands open.
All right.
And you're holding two tear stones.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the tear stones in the hands.
the hands of the statues animate and wrap around the tear stones and then crush them for a second, and then when they reopen, well, they don't reopen. One of them kind of like adjusts sideways, and a like pole arm weapon comes out of it, and it's now like the hand is now like holding like a what looks like a like glaive of some kind, and then the other hand turns over and opens regularly, and there is a like ivory and silver colored amulet in it, and the glaive is like jet black. It's kind of sick looking.
Jay's gonna take both the amulet and the glaive, and he's gonna toss the glaive to Lysel and say, "This one looks to be about more your speed."
Oh, I'm more of a billhook person, but maybe I could do something with it.
If you think about it, it's the same thing. It just doesn't have the extra little bit at the end there, and he points and like tries to make out the differences in the weapons.
How does
I mean, that
Lysel look? As Jay says, that billhooks and glaives are pretty much the same thing.
They like kind of like make a face, not like a like they're acknowledging, like in their face that maybe what he said is incorrect, but they don't think it's worth the fight.
Also, Lysel,
Intelligence, baby.
another orb appears above your head.
Didn't you say something about a glaive in Division 2?
Let me look at my notes, because I wrote down what you saw.
I think you did.
Oh, yeah. I said that you were gonna get a... Yes, I did mention a weapon. It was like if a billhook and a guandao like ran at each other really fast.
So it's probably not this thing then.
Yeah, no, this. Haha!
I mean, if your glaive and your billhook had a baby.
What the fuck? Oh shit, did you already have 2 orbs and now you have 3?
I think I only had the one.
Oh no, I think I was demonstrating like how the arc would start to form. Okay. So I'm gonna draw a circle around these 2 orbs. I'm gonna put it in DM references so I can find it easier next time, and then I'm gonna put it here. You have those 2 orbs now.
Interesting. Bless it.
Yeah, so basically they're starting to form like a half arc above your head. And it like glows white for like a split second, but then it, you know, fades away. But behind the statue, as you are exchanging the like the items, the wall like slides away and reveals another like swirling purple ellipse. Ooh, ow. Allowing you all to exit this weird fucking room.
We exit the room.
Excellent.
I take my healing potion back.
Yeah, you can have it.
He didn't fucking use it.
Yeah.
Whatever gender it was.
As you all go through the portal and find yourselves on the other side, you are now in a like kind of like circular room that is it looks like partially like a like ballroom, but like if a forest was growing inside of it. There's trees growing out of the walls and into the ceiling, There is a chandelier that has a bunch of hanging vines and what look like the leaves of like a wisteria tree, so like they dangle down and then have these like blue bell-shaped flowers coming off of them, dangling off of it in the center. There is cracks in the marble floors that have grass and wildlife growing through them. There is, well, plant life, I should specify. And it just looks like a palace ballroom completely overtaken by nature, as if it had been resting for hundreds of years undisturbed. And there are a few different like paintings that are kind of covered up by vines that are kind of like into the walls that show Guinevere like holding her hand out to like a fox, you know, like holding her hand out as if to like pet it. There is one of who you believe to be Sen, like leaning back, and because again looking at it is difficult, which I guess would key you in that it's Sen, leaning back, looking at their grimoire. And then the third depiction is of the god Death, like surrounded by a bunch of like floating wisps, looking at them like nurturingly, you know, gently, softly. And when you all get into this open space, because what I want to do next I would like everyone to be here for, and we got about 8 minutes left, I think when you get into this place I will leave it there.